be with you guys in 1 minute. Just trying to figure out how to make sure this fire extinguisher is ready to go. You never know what might happen. Ah, here we go. Empty, full, red, green. Ah, we're good. It's green. All right, let's get started with the build report. At this point, the frame for Microflash Gamma is pretty much done. There's a few pieces left in here, some little brackets that are 3D printed that need to be made into aluminum, but that is really about it. This is pretty close to the final frame. And like as I mentioned last time at the end of the last YouTube series, I think I'm probably shooting to be a little bit overweight right now, but I've got plans to deal with that. But we'll figure all that out once everything is assembled, and in particular I have the weapons in my hand, because those are actually being professionally water jet cutted. That doesn't sound right either. Being professionally made through water jet cutting, and those will be showing up at some point, hopefully before the competition. For the electronics, isn't so much wiring them up. Like I said, that's really going to be pretty simple. The goal is to be able to make them be relatively modular, so as the robot gets damaged in combat, I can swap things out pretty fast. So for motor 2, I am going to assume that goes to the starboard side of the robot, which means I want to hook positive up to positive. If the motors basically do the reverse of what you think they should do, then that means they're wired backwards. So like if you apply forward and the motors are going backwards, then they're probably wired backwards. If they're 90 degrees off, where for example if I press forward but the robot's doing a spin because one's going forward, one's going backwards, then your receiver connections are probably need to be swapped. Well, I'll be darned, I got it perfect in the first time. Awesome, I'm happy with that. Video is filmed a few days later. That'll be next episode though. The wiring's gone a little bit further along. I'm going to plug in the battery and we're going to fire up the weapon motor and just see if it spins. Obviously there's nothing connected to the weapon motor right now and it's not the real drive sprocket, but we're testing electronic today. I've got no speed control. So right now at the moment, I'm going to go ahead, take out the ESC that was in the robot here, and then replace it initially with the original ESC that I used last time for Microflash beta, as well as the original weapon motor, and see what happens. And then if this works, I'll replace this motor with the final weapon motor I want to use this time around. All right. Thank you, controller. This CP controller is working fine. Let me charge up my controller battery, and then while I'm doing that, I will wire this speed controller over the new motor and see what happens. It's quite possible maybe this speed controller is just broken. Alright, new motor and old ESC, because the old one from the original version of Microflash is soldered up. Okay, here we go. This is the replacement weapon motor. I probably shouldn't hold on to it, but you know, we'll see what happens. Safety goggles on. Radio on. Robot power is going online. In a moment here. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Same thing. All right, everybody. So, night number 3 of figuring out what is wrong with the weapon motor. And I've got an answer for you this time, because if I hold the motor here and throttle the stick up, whoop, I actually got to turn power on to the robot, don't I? Let me turn some power on to the robot. Then hold this motor here and throttle it up. Whoop, gets a nice kick right there. So hold it up close to my microphone. You can probably hear a distinct sound difference there. Slow. So anyway, here's what the problem was. This motor here, even though the box says a 3 to 6S battery, let me put this thing down for a moment and get the box over here. Number of LiPo cells, 3 to 6, 3 to 6S. Apparently, when it gets low voltage around a fully charged 3S, something about it between the motor and the ESC combination just doesn't like it something, and it doesn't work. I'm not going to pretend like I understand the electronics of brushless motors. I'm still stuck in a brush world. But something about all that just means it doesn't work. So I actually just mentioned what's going on over here. This guy, right, oh, don't move that too much. This is a very janky setup. This thing over here is a 4S LiPo pack that's from my racing drone. Now, obviously, I can't use this thing in my robot. It's way too heavy. But I had one laying around, and I hooked it up. And that is how I figured out what is going on. So what I got to do at this point, unfortunately, is order a new motor that's designed to work with a 3S LiPo pack. Now there happens to be one very similar to this motor, same exact body, but it's a 770 kV motor, so a little bit faster, but it's actually designed to work on 3 and 4S battery cells. All right, well, yeah, that's been a fun few days. So a Beta-Weight robot can weigh up to 1360 grams. 1360 grams. I think about that for a minute. 1340 was my target weight. I think I'm good with this guy, but let's find out. In 3, 2, 1, go. And the official weight of MicroFlash Gamma at the moment, which is a 99% complete robot, is 1,326 grams. That's a victory. So I got a little bit of weight to play with, which is not a bad thing. What I'm thinking of doing is reinforcing the front sprocket a little bit on the weapon, because I'm a little bit concerned about if that thing could take the hits of just the weapon itself. So that's probably what I'd first upgrade. But, you know, it's in good shape. I am happy with this robot. And just for the record, because I'm having all that trouble with the motors, I went ahead and got a new motor. It looks identical because it is the same body, but it's a different model. It's got a 780 kV rating. 780? Yeah, 780 kV rating. And it actually had a data sheet for a 3S and 4S battery, and that seems to work pretty good. I think once I get the issue with the belt straightened out, we'll get this nice full power going. But hey, next stop, let's do some testing. Of course, that's another video. So thank you guys all for watching. Once again, I'm Jason, the creator of Team Rocco Robotics, and here I am 2.5 weeks out from the next Motor City Massacre, and I am thrilled to have this robot ready to go for testing. I'm quite happy with how it's looking right now. So once again, thank you guys all for watching, and have a great week.